All right, time for a quick trade day recap. We're on NQ futures, mini micros, excuse me, and today's Thursday, December 11th. Apparently, I'm getting everything backwards, so please excuse me. So yeah, let's recap today. I went into the session with a more bullish bias. If we zoom in, we're on the 1 minute chart here. We can see the 9:30 open is this vertical dotted line here. Previous day equilibrium's right above, and I saw these equal highs, and I liked them as a juicy target. We had just taken Asia high, so I was expecting some retracement back down into this inefficiency down in here. And this purple box is London. I was expecting for price to come back down into here somewhere, and there's like a 1 hour fair value gap. Here's previous week's equilibrium. Here's previous day low. I figured somewhere down in here, I'd get a nice long. And I was bullish with a neutral to bullish bias. If we look on, the higher time frames, it's just a little sideways. On the 4 hour, especially the daily, we kind of just keep closing candles within a a range of, it's kind of like an arcing range. But anyways, so as price started coming down into the levels that I was interested in, I started seeing all these gaps forming, which I was pretty excited about, except for it formed too many gaps. Like I can't combine them. I could have maybe used this bottom one, but we didn't see a reaction at these levels here, the equilibrium in the previous day low. We didn't see a reaction here at the London low, but we did, however, see a reversal down in here. And this was a little bit of now that I'm looking at this trade in hindsight, I don't know. I took it, and I don't know if it was luck or gut. I'm not totally sure. But ultimately, one of the things I don't typically do is I don't like taking trades when they come this close to the level. If say ES took the Asia low or YM took this Asia low, but NQ didn't, forming an SMT like that, I'll put my trade up here on screen. Then I would be much more stoked about taking this long. In this case, that wasn't what happened, but let me show you kind of what I saw that convinced me. Now, here we are on the daily. Let's actually go to the 1 hour chart. So here on NQ, this is the 9 o'clock candle where it just plummeted for sell side liquidity, and it didn't quite get to this low here. But what happened is we had formed this very large, see this red gap is the inefficiency, huge inefficiency. And at the time when I took this long, so the 10 o'clock candle swept the 9 o'clock candle. We have SMT down in here. So I saw this massive inefficiency at the time above us, thinking it needed to be filled. And then I saw over here on ES and YM, well, YM was pushing strong to buy side, and ES had come down into this this fair value gap right down in here and was starting to reverse. So I took these as signals that NQ wasn't going to take this low, which might have been a little more risky than I normally would jump into a trade. But yeah, and I'm struggling with that a little bit because I know there's a fine line between risk versus not risk because we're in the business of risk. But anyway, so I made a split-second decision that there was enough confluence here, enough narrative for me to believe that it was worth the risk to go up, that we might not take this low. And it ended up paying off. So I obviously marketed in on this candle here. And a couple of things on this trade. I was kind of scoping out some of these big gaps. So I had reduced my contracts to 2, anticipating a much larger stop loss up here or down in here. And when the trade formed, I looked over here to this screen. This candle was just beginning to close. So I didn't have time to put my position tool and figure out how many contracts to go in with, but I knew that I could go in with 2 and I wouldn't be over leveraged. So I went in with 2, and before I even got my position tool on the chart and figured out, I could have gone in with 3 or 4, price was moving so far away from my entry that I didn't personally feel like entering anything else. Additionally, because we didn't take this Asia low, I had a little less confidence. Maybe if this had taken the Asia low and we had closed above this inversion right here, maybe I would have added one more with a large stop kind of thing. And then that would have averaged out to the risk I had wanted on the day. But in the end, that's how it played out. Now, the only thing was I was a little, I don't want to say ungrateful on when it happened, but I guess there's some truth to that, because this is the second time in a row that I've gotten into a winning trade under leveraged. And that's a bummer because I need to get the 3R to offset the normal size losses. And I'm not going to complain. Obviously, the P&L's green, wherever it is right there. Yeah. I'm not going to complain. The P&L's green. But obviously, had I gone in with 3 or 4 contracts, my P&L would be more like 450 or 500, offsetting more losses. Now, the other thing is the trade gave 8R, and I don't know why. Lately, I've kind of been playing with pushing my take profit and trailing my stop. And I'm getting mixed results. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Now, in this case here, I really could have pushed up my TP, pushed my stop to my TP, and just kept pushing my TP, and that would have ensured me 3R, and I could have gotten, call it 5R or something out of it. I probably would have maybe TP'd at the bottom of this accumulation zone. So that's something I'm working on, something I'm trying to figure out, like, because sometimes it pays off. Sometimes you lock in 2R on a trade you would normally get break even or something. So I don't know. I'm still trying to sort that out. I don't quite know what my rules are going to be in regards to that, because part of it is like sometimes it's just too greedy. And maybe in the case of this market, maybe it was fine. Maybe that's the reality is I knew it was a little dicey and it could be bearish. So maybe I was okay taking 3R despite the move giving almost 8R now that I think about it. So yeah, I'll take that. I'll take another W. I'm up on the count and the P&L's in the green. I'm trying not to pay attention to the P&L at all. It's not important to me. It's why I don't even have it up here on this little profit window. I like seeing the profit of the trade, and I know it's exciting to see for people watching, but I'm really not even paying attention to the P&L. Anytime I do that, I feel like things go wrong, and I start caring. And I've had much better luck lately when I don't even pay attention to the numbers in the account, and I think in terms of risk to reward R value. So today was a 3R day, and that seems to be helping me quite a bit. So I'm just going to kind of continue on with that. And yeah, I guess that's a recap of today's trade. So one and done for me, and green on the week, green on the day. I'll take it, and showing up tomorrow for another day to show up to the charts, to read price, and perfect my craft. That's all. I'm really kind of focusing on that lately. I've let go of trading as like any of my expectations of it that I think we all get into this industry for, right? I don't even need to share the expectations because it's pretty ubiquitous. But the last month or so, I've really let that go. I've let go being to any particular goal or profit level by any particular point in time. I'm just showing up to the charts. I know that December is a slower month typically. I know that January is a crap month. February can be a not good month. So we're going into the slower season of trading. And so I'm front running that, knowing that I'm reducing my expectations on myself, expectations on trading, and instead here just showing up to perfect my craft. My mornings are spent here on the charts live, trading live. And then once my criteria has been met, either I take my winner for the day, or I take 2 trades, let's say a loss and a break even or 2 losses, I'm done. And at that point, I move over to journaling and documenting the trade day part of it. And then I move on to typically back testing. I'm really trying to get in thousands of reps, just seeing my stop loss getting hit over and over again and neutralizing that feeling, because it's hard when I take 1 trade a day on average, maybe less. Most weeks it's like 4 trades, 3 trades sometimes. And so it's hard to get desensitized to both your take profit, your stop loss, and even getting top tapped out at break even. And I can condense a lot of that, and it's not fully the same as live trading, of course, but I can condense years of trading into weeks. And so that's been super helpful for me. I spend my entire afternoons back testing, and I'm learning so much. And for me, it works really well. And I can translate those teachings into the live markets really easily. I don't tend to change much when I go to a live environment or a real-time environment is what I've noticed. And so I feel like the back testing, I'm doing a full year front to back, and then I'll probably do more years, has really been helping me get the reps in, get the confidence. And it feels the same. Like I feel like I show up to these charts and I actually am like, I don't feel any different than back testing, other than I know I have less risk live because back testing, I'm using 250 per trade. And my live account, I want to get up to that. My funded account here, live trading. And I just wasn't going to push the risk this week because it was FOMC. I've done that before on FOMC week where I've upped the risk and just wrecked myself. So, and also it's December. So now we're after FOMC. I didn't want to push up my risk today or tomorrow because it's the end of the week, and that can psychologically, it doesn't make me feel very good when I maybe give back more gains on a 1R loss that wipe out a couple R of wins from earlier in the week because of how the math works. So maybe next week I'll work on getting my risk up. Anyways, that's a long-winded explanation of what my days are. Oh, the other thing I forgot is at the end of the day, then I document the price action for the full day. Like what was the daily profile? Was there a lunch raid? What did the afternoon do? What was the low of the day, high of the day? What times were the models that I would have really liked to have taken? All those kinds of things. So anyways, I'll stop now. Let's recap of today's trade, and I'll be live tomorrow. See ya.